Greetings, adventure. I'm Shiloh with D20 Academy, and today I want to help you guys out in building adventures using this little secret I have called the S.M.A.R.T.E.R framework. Now, if you were like how I once was, I used to have lots of trouble building adventures. I'd struggle with it a lot. It would take a long time. It would not be efficient. I would struggle with ideas and all that kind of stuff. And it was really hard for me to build adventures, the next part of the plotline, the next part of the campaign. It was something I really struggled with. But then I stumbled across the S.M.A.R.T.E.R framework, and this really helped me when I was building my adventures. It made it quicker. It made them quicker to build. It made it easier to build. It gave me a direction, all that kind of stuff. See, because my adventures, and maybe yours, they lacked direction, they lacked dimension, they lacked substance, efficiency, stuff like that. But with the S.M.A.R.T.E.R framework, it really turned my adventures into games that were exciting and fun and interesting and deep, and it was really helpful. So, what is the S.M.A.R.T.E.R framework? What the heck am I talking about? Well, there is this like life coach, inspirational speaker kind of guy. His name is Michael Hyatt. And he has this book called The Full Focus Planner, which is like a planner that helps you plan out your life. I use it all the time. It's like what helps me get stuff done, live my life. But at the beginning of each quarter, you open up a new book, open up a new planner, and the first thing you do is you set down the goals for that quarter, right? The goals for the next 3 months. And every time you make a goal, you have to make sure it fits into the S.M.A.R.T.E.R framework. And I'm going to talk about that here, and let's translate, though, this framework, which is used as setting goals, into building adventures, okay? So, S.M.A.R.T.E.R, acronym. What does the S stand for? The S stands for specific. You do not want your adventure's goal, the adventure's direction, to be vague. Confusion makes your players want to ignore, want to steer away, want to get away from this adventure. It will make them lazy. They'll begin to crawl through. They won't have as much motivation and stuff. But if you have something that's very specific and clear, they know what they're doing. They always know where they have to go next. They know what they have to do next, and that can really help keep the pace going. Okay, M stands for measurable. You want the adventure to be measurable. You want the progress to be measurable. You want it to be at any time, like, ask your players, like, well, like, where along are you? Like, do you feel like you've made progress? Like, you want to be able to tell where they are in their progress throughout the quest. That way it feels like they feel like they're gaining ground. They feel like they're accomplishing things. They're getting objectives. They're moving through sequences and getting closer to that end specific goal, right? You want to make sure it's measurable and not vague and all over the place and confusing and stuff like that. Okay, the A stands for actionable. You want it then to be able to just take action. Hopefully right now, once you give them the quest, that they have things that they can just go out and do, and they know what they have to do, and they can take action. It's not just sitting around. While planning and stuff, it can definitely be a part of the adventure. You don't want them always planning or discussing or whatever. They need to be taking action. They need to be getting stuff done. They need to be going to locations, getting bad guys, saving people. Whatever it is, it needs to be actionable. The R is for risky. The adventure, of course, needs to be risky. It needs to have a level of danger and threat to the players. And maybe they don't know this straight off the bat. Maybe they slowly learn it, or maybe they are told straight off the bat the risk of the adventure. But that keeps things, exhilarating. It keeps things like you won't know how things are going to turn out. You know what I mean? If you keep it risky, it has to be something that puts their life or something else on the line for them and really establishes those stakes. Okay, the T is time sensitive. You want the adventure to be time sensitive. That means that you have to complete it in so-and-so amount of days before this happens, or you can only, you must complete this in the next few hours before so-and-so happens. When you make your adventure time sensitive, what it does is it puts a clock on the party and forces them to start going through it, start making progress. It picks up the pace of your campaign. It keeps that pace rolling, and it means that your adventure never turns into a slog or anything like that. All right, the E is exciting. You want to make it, of course, exciting, whether it's a crazy action set piece or a chase or whatever it is. You want it to be exhilarating for the players. You want them to be interested. Maybe you introduce a really fun, quirky NPC that they really love, or maybe just like a really interesting battle that takes place on this crazy battlefield. You want it to be exciting. You want it to be adrenaline pumping. You know what I mean? And that will keep, once again, the pace rolling and keep them engaged. The final R is for relevant. You want the adventure to be relevant. What's the reason that they're even going on this? It should help progress along the major plot arc or the major plot line of the whole campaign. Side quests are good and fun, But you want all your side, even if it is a side quest, to feel like they are still progressing in the major scope of things. It needs to be relevant. Why would they be doing this quest when they could be focusing on something more relevant to the major plot line? You know what I mean? So you want to make sure that all your adventures are relevant, that no matter where they're going, what they're doing, it is helping them in some way get closer and closer to the end goal of this major plot arc or of the entire campaign's arc. Okay, there it is. That's a SMART-E.R acronym. Let me just go over it again real quick. Specific, measurable, actionable, risky, time-sensitive, exciting, and relevant. You want all of those. Guys, subscribe and follow for more of these adventuring tips. Comment any questions you have down below, and make sure to listen to our podcast, D20 Academy, where we talk about tons of interesting things like this as well. And of course, if you are a GM looking to build a campaign, go over to d20academy.com. I got a free video for you there that will take you through the entire process of building a campaign from scratch. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you all next week with another adventuring tip.